on Coleman. Count on Coleman. If your world is looking strange, you can count on Coleman for change.
Hi, Baton Rouge, District 10. Here we are. I'm Carolyn Coleman, the councilwoman here in this district, and I have the pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to have someone with us today to give us some information that I know will be information that you're waiting on, that you're not knowledgeable of, and then keep in mind, that's the purpose of this podcast here. And so today I have with me Miss Semino, and Miss Semino is going to tell you, and that's Shalonda Turner Semino. She's the CAO of JCFA Charter High School, and she's going to let you know what those letters stand for. And so, Ms. Semino, just tell us all about you and your experience as an educator in EBR school system, because that's where you started.
That is so great to be here with you, Councilwoman, and this is always exciting. I'm always ready to talk about education because I moved to Baton Rouge in 1994 to do just that, to extend my education and to educate. And I started at Baker High in 1994. And 30 years later, I retired from the same school system. So Baton Rouge has adopted me. I've served the community. That's where we've met and worked with these families, and we, love families, love children, love serving. So, 30-year retired educator, one of my life's greatest accomplishment, second generation. My father is a retired educator in Rapides Parish, and I stayed retired a few months, kind of the regroup, reset, assess what my gifts are in the next chapter, and I found a charter organization, 15 years old, which was started in Jefferson Parish, so a Louisiana-grown charter organization, and decided to continue the gift. And even though they were originated in Jefferson Parish, they were looking to extend to serving families in Baton Rouge, which is what I do.
There you go. And you heard her.
Yeah. So it was like, let me see what this is about. But I like to say JCFA stands for Joy, Commitment, Flexibility, and Achievement. It originally was a Jefferson Chamber Foundation Academy charter when it was only in Jefferson Parish, but now it's extended to Lafayette. There's a campus. There are 2 campuses, East and West Bank in Jefferson, and now a 4th campus, 4 weeks old and open on Lobdell in the Baton Rouge Community College Collision Center campus. So we have now a 4th JCFA site in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So I'm excited today to tell the community about it.
And you are right on target there, telling the community about it. What, they hear about charters, but I heard the word flexible. And so what makes this program, this charter school, different? Talk to the audience about what it is.
So that's a very good question, and that's exactly what I like. We are educators, so we like to educate the community with the facts.
Yes.
Because I like to, when I meet families, tell you what it is and tell you what it's not, right?
Yes.
I am a traditional school educator. Both of us come from EBR public schools, and we know being in traditional high schools, there are students that fit there. They're supposed to be there. We know they thrive there, and high schools are fit for your high school experience. However, as traditional educators, we know from our years of experience, there are some students, and we could put names and faces on them immediately, who we sometimes wished there was another choice for their student that didn't, because they were not fitting or thriving in the traditional setting. We can go from A to Z on what those things were, keeping them from thriving in that setting. But there just were some things. And so over the years, there were some alternative school options. JCFA Charter is an alternative school. There's some alternatives for discipline. There's some alternatives for special needs. We are more of an alternative high school for overage, undercredited students. They are not necessarily there because of discipline issues. They are just there because they are choosing an alternative option. So JCFA offers a partial school day. It offers year-round school.
Wow.
Some of our students are actively parenting, or they have life circumstances that are financially not allowing them to go a full day in a traditional high school. They may have mental health or social anxiety issues that is not allowing them to be successful in a traditional high school, and it's nothing wrong with that.
That's correct.
They've not gotten in trouble. They've not been sent away. They are choosing a smaller setting, a unique self-paced setting, a shorter day setting, to just still seek their high school diploma. Because what JCFA is still a high school diploma earning Louisiana public high school.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yes.
And that word thriving, you all thriving, that is of utmost. Everybody wants to thrive.
Yes.
And so, who is the target audience for your student enrollment, and where are you right now in that enrollment process?
So, another great question. We will be a small setting, so we will only ever have at this campus 80 students. That is our cap max, because it is important for our model it to be a small setting. Students are choosing us. That's one target audience. They need a smaller setting. It is a one-on-one. I was, in my former life, pre-retirement, have principaled a high school of up to 1,200 students, never had less than 900, and a middle school, which was the largest middle school in the city, that was about 1,000 students, never had less than 900. So it's hard to be one-on-one in a setting like that.
Yes, it
Did my
is.
students still thrive and grow? Absolutely they did. I had wonderful teachers, wonderful staff. The district supported the large schools. The families choosing JCFA are choosing a smaller setting for their student. So that's one target, someone obviously choosing that. I will go to an audience of several students I have right now, parenting, without a lot of support to do it with them being away 8 hours, either because of childcare or because they need to be working and they just are adulting. Some of their childhood has been pulled into parenting.
Yes.
Let's just be real.
Yes.
So I have about 6 young ladies already enrolled who are actively parenting. They're getting support from our city's wonderful organizations that support teen mothers. But we have a 3 hours and 45-minute day where they can then leave at 12:55 and go into whether it be work, readjusting, and they're a shorter day for academics where they can both learn and maneuver parenting, working, and all of it, right?
Wow.
And so it's a little less pressure, but they're still not giving up. They're not dropping. They're still getting their high school diploma.
High school diploma.
And so we're still able to offer them dual enrollment if they were getting it at one of the traditional high schools, so they don't lose anything from the traditional high school, which maybe we don't offer as many extracurricular because it's a shorter day. But the students we're targeting aren't looking for that.
That's right.
They're just
That's
looking
right.
for their academics, and they don't want to give up, and they want a high school diploma.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's another target audience.
So a typical day, I just want the audience to thoroughly understand what JCFA is doing here, y'all. This This is amazing for our children. So a typical day for a student, and what's the age limit? And talk to me about a typical day for a student that will be coming to JCFA.
Okay, let's talk similarities to a school. We have a bell schedule, like a high school. So, but our school, again, as I keep saying, is a shortened day. So our students, our first period class is 9:15. So our students arrive for 8:50. I have a lot of young ladies who they have sitters, or I have a lot of students who work late. So the 9 o'clock start is not with the truancy and tardiness that they're getting at a 7 a.m. start, that a traditional student with a lot of support can do. Okay, yes. So we start at 9:15 is first period. There are 3 70-minute periods. So students arrive in the mornings, they turn in their phones, because we are all on Edgenuity, so we are a blended learning campus, and all the students are self-paced, working at their own. So when they come with the transcript, I've had students coming with a credit and a half left to graduate. Have some students who just may be 17 or 18-year-old and ninth grader, and they want to finish faster. And so since we're year-round, they can do that, right? So they come in, we look at their transcript. If they need 10 credits to graduate, if they need 1 credit to graduate, we do that at JCFA. So they turn in their phones, we arrive, they are served breakfast. We're happy to be partnering with the EBR school system, so our students still will receive free lunch and free breakfast as they would do in the regular public school system, because we are still in East Baton Rouge Parish. They go to their first period, they go to their second period, we have a brain break, and in that brain break, we may do some fun things. We do morning mindfulness, just music and meditation, just to kind of keep our minds on what we're there for. And then after the brain break, we have third period, and then we dismiss at 12:55. We have grab and go lunch, and the students, we are working on 100% of them being employed. So we're, looking to, partner with businesses and employ BR and things like that. But a typical school day at JCFA is 3 periods of class. You get breakfast, you get lunch, and we are year-round school. So the day you finish your credits is the day you finish at JCFA, because each individual student is self-paced, working on their own journey to graduation.
And you mentioned Edgenuity. Tell the audience what Edgenuity is. I think it's the best thing since sliced bread. And then seat time, and you mentioned something about banking time.
Yes.
Wow, listen up out there. This is good stuff here.
Yes, so Edgenuity, which is now Imagine Learning, we've been using that in the school system in EBR high schools for several years. It is an online program, but it is blending learning the way that we're using it, because we still have 2 adults in the room. We have a teacher and a tutor. So the students are self-paced on an online platform, but they are getting the interventions. If they have an IEP, they are getting the assistance, and they're getting their accommodations. So it is an online platform. It is not whole group learning. So it is, I like to be upfront with that, because that is not for everyone.
That's correct.
Right? But we do have educators in the room to assist. And what those students will do is get online, they will test, take a prescriptive, they'll take a pre-test. If the student scores because of their prior knowledge out of most of it, a lot of the times they are only going to take the part of the course that they need to earn that credit, right? And so it is an accelerated program for students who are overaged or behind. That's a major targeted audience, undercredited and overaged students.
Mention that again.
Undercredited and overage students are our target audience. Now, you mentioned banking.
Yes.
That does not mean neighbors chase Capital One.
I was ready to go. I was looking for the money, where the money resides.
Yeah.
Yes.
So banking at JCFA is how students, we support seat time. Because we're year-round, seat time isn't an issue, because we are open 12 months. Okay. So the beginning of our year starts the week right after the 4th of July, so July to June 30th. So we go year round with the typical holidays, but it's because these students are beyond a summer school, or what they are trying to graduate.
Yes.
So we want to be that to be accessible year round. So banking allows them to come an hour earlier, 5 days a week, or stay an hour later, 3 days a week. So it gives them up to 8 possible hours to, almost like on your job, collect PTO time.
Yes.
So tomorrow I have a young lady who has to take her baby to get shots at the doctor. She's banked several days. So she just said, Miss Shalonda, I'm going to use some of my banking time tomorrow, so I won't be here. But she's already put that time in. And so it takes the attendance piece out. They can put the extra work in. It gives them time if they have to put an extra shift in at work and they have to go to the doctor. A lot of them have struggled with attendance or some type of social issues or discipline issues or any type of life circumstances issues in their traditional setting. Wow. So the flexibility piece and the achievement piece, a lot of them are seeing achievement where they didn't see it before because of some of the barriers. And sometimes every option isn't for every kid.
That's correct.
And
That's
traditional, and I say we because I've done it for years, we try to reach every kid, but we know the reality is some needed some other option.
Yes.
So it's wonderful in Baton Rouge now that we are adding different options and choices that fit the needs of children and families.
That's excellent. You said options, and that is of utmost importance, options. And then for the young people to have the option to juggle and to fit in everything that they have to do. You all have definitely, JCFA is definitely structured in a manner in which it can meet the needs of them. And as you said, I know that attendance will not be an issue because they can see the end.
Yes.
And that is of utmost importance, to be able to see the end. And so let's talk about getting there, transportation.
Yes, that's a very good topic to talk about because, again, we're non-traditional and we are a charter. We do not provide school bus transportation like a traditional school. And that's for families to know. If that's a game changer, naturally a traditional setting would still be that option. What we do, we have partnered with CATS. We've had meetings with them. Our leadership have met with their leadership to explain, like we're doing with you, what we can do. So we purchase the CATS transportation for students. We provide the bus passes. They incur no expenses. And we train the students how to become transportation independent and use the CAT services.
Wow, yes.
So our teachers train them, show them how to download the app, show them how to track where the bus is coming, and we give them a bus pass every day. So they receive a 24-hour bus pass that we purchase every day. So it is, and we do that. We've done that for years in the public school system, so it's still public school, I tell people, charter is not private. It's still our taxpayers' dollars to work for our families. So we provide that transportation, of course, drop off, and our students drive. It is a high school. Many of our students drive. Like I said, the reasons are various why they're there. Yes. So transportation is not their barrier. Something else is their barrier. So we have some that drive, some that ride public transportation at our expense, and some just do regular carpool.
Wow.
Yep, but we do not provide bus transportation. Yes.
But city bus.
But
those
city bus,
passes.
but not the, yes, we
But not
provide
school
the
bus,
passes.
and that's
so,
great.
Yes, so I like to be specific because some
Yes.
parents worry about them, but our students are ages 15 to 21,
Great.
22 with an IEP. So, you know, that though we are high school people,
Yes,
we
yes.
believe they should be independent.
Yes.
Because
yes.
I'd love for them to hop on the bus and take my free bus pass to a job.
Yes.
And that's what we want in the city, our students being educated and going to work.
And then you talked about jobs, and I'm sure you can appeal to the different entities out there about your population that would be in need of employment. And you know, folk always asking, what can they do here in Baton Rouge to help our young people? And you just said it there about jobs, you know, and being able to work and just balance life and a job. So you can appeal to those folk out there.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Several
indeed.
organizations. Baton Rouge has been amazing. I love the city because it is very easy to network. Every phone call that I've made and asked to stop by, you know, people have stopped by. You know, when we moved into the neighborhood, called Councilman Dunn and say, we're in the neighborhood.
Yes,
He
yes.
provided opportunities for our New Orleans campuses, you know, through just because they were open. At the time, we didn't have students. But I can not even count the number of organizations that have reached out, supported us, and just our students are there. They are 100% employable age because their age is 15 to, again, 21, 22 with an IEP, and they are our future workforce. I want them with a high school diploma. I want them enrolling in BRCC and Southern and LSU after high school. I want them, you know, dual enrolled while they're with us. All the same things, you know, that we've been wanting as high school educators. So it's an amazing opportunity. It is, again, a very small setting, so it is not for every student. Some of our students are doing great in our traditional high schools.
And then when you say 80, really, 80 is a lot when you're talking about wraparound services for every one of those 80s. So that is really a lot. And see, you have the history of helping children. You have the history, so I know Baton Rouge should not and would not have an issue with you because you have a history of doing what's best for the youth, even in the traditional setting. And so here we are now with this non-traditional setting in Baton Rouge, she's still Shalonda Semino out here for, and you heard of children and families and opportunities and just getting our youth on up the road or down the road, and then all barriers being removed. And so these are the kind of opportunities that we can definitely be a part of and reach out. And if we say we are about the youth, then this is what we can definitely we can definitely do that, and that is be a part of this. And so we appreciate what you're doing. You could have very well had sat down and just traveled and done just a little bit. But when it's in your bones with helping youth and children, then that's what we do. And so tell them how they can contact you and get and really come and see JCFA in action.
Absolutely. Well, you can come by any day. We are, again, at 2117 Lobdell Boulevard. We are inside of the Collision building on the BRCC Automotive campus. We have a big JCFA in the front of the building, so you cannot miss us. We are there every day. I like to tell people, please stop by anytime between usually 8:30 and 4:30. There's always someone there.
Wow.
Our applications are on our website, jcfa.co. So, and that is .co. Of course, you can go there. You can download the application. All 4 campuses on there. If you have family in the Lafayette or the New Orleans area, they may be interested. But if you are interested in the Baton Rouge campus, you check Baton Rouge. Of course, we have an ad running on Facebook. We do not have social media necessarily for our Baton Rouge campus yet, because we are an extension of the Jefferson Parish campus in our Baton Rouge campus. But our students, it's all East Baton Rouge students. So we are looking for students who live in the Baton Rouge area. However, we're a Type 2 charter. Any student in the state of Louisiana can attend JCFA.
Wow.
So we are a statewide state charter, so I like to clear that up because we do have different types. So again, Lafayette, New Orleans, and Baton Rouge. But I have flyers here to leave in the Leo Butler Center for the community in your area.
Yes,
Councilwoman Coleman. And again, we're online, or please just stop by any day. The tour is a very short tour. I like people to see what they're referring people to. So I am very easily found there daily. I've collaborated with a lot of the educators in the area, a lot of the community members who are just about children and serving families. We have that common goal, and I've been doing it for 30 plus years, and I am happy to continue to do it through this platform in however small. I feel like every bit counts.
Yes, indeed. And I can say that Yolanda Turner Semino knows what she's doing when it comes down to educating our children. And so you have heard about JCFA, a non-traditional charter school that can help our children who just non-traditionally. And so she has given all of the contact information. And so I appreciate you. I want you to know that. And then I look forward to you either coming back with some of your students or we coming in to see some of your students via the podcast. So I say thank you. Thank you for what you do for our children.
Well, shout out to you and to my faculty and staff and students at JCFA.
There you go. Go JCFA.
Count on Coleman. Count on Coleman. If your world is looking strange, you can count on Coleman for change.